Tomorrow is Flag Day, but an early celebration took place this morning at the Greene County Courthouse and included the Ozark Mountain chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution, songs by the Courthouse Chorale, and a Flag Day proclamation by the Greene County Commission.
It gives us an opportunity just to rally around the flag and remember those unifying principles of freedom and liberty and justice for all.
Flag Day is celebrated every June 14th. It commemorates the adoption of the United States flag on June 14th, 1777 by the Second Continental Congress. This brief